Welcome to the Biz Bash podcast, where we make biz strategy a piece of cake. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cami, but you might know us better as Eliza Ann Calligraphy and Cami Monet. We want to help you, our fellow stationers, artists, and calligraphers, confidently build a profitable and personality-driven creative biz.
We're here to share our honest-to-goodness advice and actionable strategies for ambitious artists.
So put on your party hat, quit being a procrastinator gator, and let's get this party started.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Biz Birthday Bash podcast, where the kitties are multiple and the peaches are ripe. And we're going to get this thing started off tonight.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I just had to tie in what we were talking about before we hit record because it was so freaking funny because Cami was like, I ate 4 peaches before we got back on to record. And I was like, holy cow, girl. And then, of course, I had to do the little riff from Peaches, Justin Bieber's song. And you need to sing again.
The song's like, I got my peaches down in Georgia, something. What's the word after that? Anyway, but Alex and I always say, I get my kitties from the backyard, bring them in.
And it made me laugh so hard. So I was like, we need to rewind and record this so that people can hear all the nonsense.
That's an Alex Miller special, you guys. That is what it's like to live with my husband. Except just imagine him singing that like 400 times and you're like, okay, we have to switch the songs now. Like, oh, what's the other one he sings where it's about carrots? Oh, okay, so Chainsmokers, and it was like, we were something in Paris, and he was like, I was eating some carrots, and I was like, no, we're not eating carrots anymore. I am so sick of it. And then he'll just like hum it lightly, and then he just like pokes his head. I'm like, don't do the carrot thing, and he'll do it. I'm like, oh my gosh, no more carrots.
Well, I just learned something new about Cami because I, came back to record. We just had our lunch break, and I was like, yeah, I have my chocolate covered pretzels. I have them in the freezer because I love them like that. And she goes, oh, I hate it when things are in the freezer. I was like, what? You must be crazy. So Alex, her husband, and me apparently like to put our chocolate things and candy bars and all that good stuff in the freezer. And Cami does not. Yeah. I'm shook.
I would literally rather eat it melted in a jar than have to eat something frozen. He's always like putting Reese's in the freezer, and I'm like, I'm not going to eat it. Like, I don't like it, so I have to take it out, and I'll like just put it in my bra so it gets warmed up.
I don't know if I'd be able to have something that cold like against my chest like that, to be honest.
Well, it is like 102 degrees here, so
It is freaking 100 all over the entire country right now, apparently. I mean, obviously this is going to come out in August, but I'm sure no one's going to forget like the heat wave. I mean, Seattle was like 100 something, like 110 like a couple days in a row. It's just crazy. I think they've had the hottest day in history.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
really crazy.
Especially because like people there don't really have AC, so it's especially nuts because what you gonna do to stay cool?
So they get their Reese's from the freezer right now for sure. They're like, we want
exactly. That's what I would be doing, standing by like the open fridge. I'd be like, all right, here we go. By the way, I guess I went straight into my little ditty and didn't really introduce what we're talking about today, but Cami has been featured in stationery trends as of the end of 2020, right, Cami? That was like the winter. Yeah, the winter edition. And so once that happened, we started getting a lot of questions from people about how does somebody do something like this? How do you get featured in stationery trends or featured in a paper goods magazine? We might have to do an entirely different episode about wedding editorials because that's kind of like a whole different thing if you guys ever wanted to hear about that. But also Cami and I were over styled shoots a long time ago. So I'm not sure how much we would love talking about that. It would be cool to have an expert though, like someone from a magazine. So if you guys know publishers or anything like that from any of those bridal magazines.
I think I know somebody actually.
Okay. So, all right. Cool.
I actually just had one of the styled shoots with House of Fett just got published in Hooray magazine, which is like a party magazine that I didn't even know existed until today.
And over Christmas, you also had your pencils in
Southern Living.
Good House. Southern Living.
Yes.
Okay, I almost said Good Housekeeping. No, Southern Living.
That was a big one.
I freaking drove to like a bazillion different grocery stores until I finally found the magazine because Cammie was like, I'll just ship a copy to you. I have a bunch of extras. And I was like, no, that defeats the point. I have to see it in the wild. I have to find it for myself.
Oh, and that's what when I found it, I was so excited. I did the bend and snap and literally split Alex's lip open because I came back so hard. Like I was like,
no.
I think I told you this because you came to see us at Barber the next day. Remember? And his lip was all split.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we were in like Books a Million, and it was on the bottom shelf, and he was like on the top shelf above me, like over me, and I was on the bottom shelf. I was like, here it is, and I grabbed it and I shot up so fast and just nailed him in the chin, and he split his lip, and there was like blood everywhere. So it kind of killed the vibe of me being so excited to like find it.
See, you
really
might
hurt. I felt like
might have told us this at the racetrack, but the thing is, I was probably I get like tunnel vision when like people I know in my life are meeting each other for the first time.
Oh, that's fine.
So like Cammie finally got to meet my family. So if she did tell this story, like I have literally no recollection of it because I was probably just like, oh my God, this is so great. Like everyone's here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me. They're building Buc-ee's.
I know. Oh, it's already there. It was there when we were there. It just wasn't open. I know. I'm very excited. And there's a new one in Sevierville, which is the biggest.
Yeah, they're building one on 75. And when we passed it on our way to Nashville, we thought of you and Alex both times. We're like, there's the Buc-ee's because Alex and Cammie are obsessed with it. I kept calling it Bucci's, and Will was like, I think it's Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's, Elizabeth. Potty like a rock star. I love Buc-ee's. Like, I'm so excited. Okay. But yeah, split Alex's lip open because I was so excited. So maybe don't do that if you are featured in the magazine.
So it might be worth, like, obviously we're going to talk about stationary trends, but hearing the story about Southern Living would be cool too.
I know. I just feel like, okay, so y'all, these stories might not be that exciting because I didn't really do anything.
Because Jacqueline did,
but
right?
Also, I didn't really do anything. They found me. So with Southern Living, Jacqueline, my VA, had been reaching out to different magazines and stuff. And then so Southern Living responded and say like, hey, we're particularly interested in the pencils. Can you send a sample over? And I was like, yes, of course. And I sent a bunch of other stuff too. And obviously, why would I not? And then they did like the editorial shoot with that. So that one was directly from Jacqueline reaching out to different magazine editors for just pitching stuff. The stationary trends. So some of my products just got featured in some roundups, but I didn't submit anything. At least I don't think I didn't submit anything unless Jacqueline did and I didn't know it. But she does. She will ask, like, Stationary Trends does have a submission form. So you guys, you can literally start submitting your stuff right away. You don't even have to like pitch it. You can submit stuff and they have like what they're looking for the next few issues. So I know Jacqueline now will be like, hey, their submissions are open for this. Is there anything you want me to like send over? And I'll be like, oh, definitely this and anything else you think of. Because like right now when I looked, it was like they're looking for Easter, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, and like butterfly stuff. And I was like, well, blow them up with butterflies and all this stuff. So for those little product roundups, they do, which is really great. And I've definitely seen traction from being in Stationary Trends. I mean, it's so specific and niche. It's fantastic. And then I also feel like I had a little bit of a leg up on that because I was one of the 10 designers to watch in 2021. So I was like kind of on their radar. You know what I mean? So I had like a full feature in that, which was really cool. But anyway, guys, so first big tip is obviously go directly into the submission form. Like I think people forget that they have that. And it's a great way to just already get like your stuff in front of their eyeballs. So yeah, but I will talk to in this episode, we're just going to talk about like some basic ways to pitch yourself, just like, you know, the very basic foundation you need. Just if you're like, I literally have no idea where to begin, this will be really helpful for you. And just like some tips and tricks. Also, a little side note tangent. I did used to be a magazine editor, so I feel like I have a little insight with what editors like to see and what they're just like, okay, whatever. Like, so yes, that is, I guess, helpful. Okay. So shall we begin?
Yeah, I am totally ready. So
Okay.
Basically, it sounds like it starts out with doing your research, y'all. That's Cammie's first point for this episode.
Gotta do your research. So like I mentioned, first thing you want to do in your research is check if they already have a submission form, because there's nothing more aggravating, as you guys know, than someone going like not checking the avenues to be like, oh, this is the way to like send a wedding inquiry or whatever. Same with these publications. They might already have a submission form. Like a lot of other like online gift guides or other places might have like, here's where like you can submit to be a featured artist or submit your product for our gift guide here. Like Stationery Trends has a submission form for every quarter. So you can always go submit stuff. That is very, very easy to do. Start doing your research there. That's like the number one step. And then also along the lines of doing your research, if you're pitching to a magazine like Southern Living or Good Housekeeping, I can't even think of another magazine right now. What are the sections of the magazine where your product would be a good fit? So you got to think like if they have like a product roundup every month, like every magazine is kind of built into templates where they're going to have like 2 editorial articles and then like a little product roundup where it's called like Gabby's Gifts or something. I don't know. I'm just making up something, but that would be like the section. And you're like, okay, that would be a perfect place for me to submit my mug. So when I email the editor, I'm going to say, hey, this would be a great fit for Gabby's Gifts or whatever. So they know you're familiar with it. You understand the type of content they're putting out. And you've already, done your research. Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
So another thing with your research is to make sure you are actually contacting the right editor. So you would look at the masthead at the front of the print magazine to find the right person. And a lot of times the right person for product stuff is either going to be the marketing editor or the accessories editor, or sometimes they're called a buying editor. Online gift guides or online features would be the digital editor. So you can find their name. And then if you can find out the email format for that company, then you're golden. Like you could email anyone.
That's how I tried to email Anna Bond to get her on our podcast.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure the email went through. I mean, we never got anything back, but
yeah. So like once you find out the email format and find that person's name on the masthead, you can email them directly instead of just like anyone who works at the magazine, because there's a lot of different people. And sometimes those emails will just be like, what is this? And not think to like forward it to someone.
Right.
So you want to definitely email them directly and make sure you're using their name, obviously. So,
yep.
So that's all involved with doing your research. And let's see, I already said this down there. I'll wait for them. Okay, so number 2 is you want to keep it short. When you're reaching out directly to editors, your intro email needs to basically be an elevator speech, maybe even shorter than an elevator speech. Like you've got to keep it short. Which can be counterintuitive because you're like, these people love writing. Like I should send them this like a really long story about my whole life and like why I'm passionate. Don't do that. You can always.
They have, such little time and probably get so many emails that would be exhausting.
Trust me, those get so lost. You want to make it short and sweet and be like, ooh, well, that sounds cool. I want more. Like that kind of thing where you just give them a little tidbit. Mm-hmm. You can always expand on your story later. So don't just like throw out all your cards in the first email.
Right.
Another good tip is to put a small photo directly in the email, like embedded in the email. Nothing that they need to download or an attachment or anything crazy. Or don't do that thing where you make it really large and it expands the whole inbox and you can't see it. You know what I'm talking about. That's the worst. So don't do that. Just a little small something to give them the gist of what it is and what it looks like. So your pitch email just needs to be just like compact in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
With like a nice headline, a nice subject line that's just going to grab their attention. So,
and do you put any links to your site or anything?
I would probably put links to the site. But like, yeah, you can check out more here, that kind of thing. But here's some like the foundation of a good pitch email. So keeping it short and sweet, like 10 sentences, address the editor by name. Introduce yourself and your brand in just like a sentence or 2. Explain how your product is a good fit for the magazine or the blog. If they featured something similar in the past, you could also mention that. Maybe it'll help them like spark interest or know you're a previous reader, understand that. And then a call to action to trigger the editor to respond to you. So it's either like a question, like, do you have any like a question or just like a personal note, like if you actually know them or like if you have a better like relationship. So just something where they would feel like responding to you. You could also say like, hey, I'll follow up in a week. Another question you could ask is like a trigger. It could be like, oh, could I go ahead and send you a sample? Like, where would be the best place to send a sample to you? And then they can respond with their address if they're interested. Something like that. Or say like, hey, is the address in your signature like the best place to send a sample? Like, I'll have one coming next week. Like, you could do something like that as well and just like take the initiative.
Yeah, I love it because once you kind of like format your pitch email, you can basically switch out names and a couple personal details instead of reworking the wheel every single time. It's pretty obvious, though, you have to remember to change the names because I've definitely gotten cold emails before where it's like, oh, they were emailing such and such company first because they forgot to change the names out. So awkward.
So awkward. Yeah.
And I delete those.
Yeah.
I don't even respond.
I know. They can't get the name right. Yeah. It's a big deal. It's a big deal, you guys.
Yep. All right, so we're going to take a quick ad break, you guys, and then we'll be back to cover additional points about submissions right after this.
Hey guys, we share a ton of free, helpful info here on the podcast, but if you're looking to go deeper, you need our Business Sense for Creatives bundle. This is our foundational resource. We share it all. Our pricing strategies, marketing plans, our favorite print partners, real-life examples of our invoices and workflows, and so much more. Literally, it is amazing. It really is the comprehensive guide for a money-making creative biz.
So with the bundle, you'll get access to our 3 webinar replays, Pricing with Purpose, How to Be Confident When It Comes to Charging Your Worth, People and Publicity, How to Find Clients and Deliver an Awesome Experience, and lastly, Productivity and Processes, How to Run Your Business Efficiently and Get Crap Done.
And not to mention, you'll also get our 3 bonus PDF party favors. What? We've heard from students that these are worth the price of it alone. So the party favors are pricing FAQs, the SEO cheat sheet, and a mini favorite vendors guide to get you started on where to print invitations.
So just to clarify, that is not only 3 awesome video recordings, but 3 bonus PDFs as well that support the content from the videos. So I think it's a pretty good deal.
Totally. It's the best deal out there. And you have lifetime access to it, which also adds to the whole value. So
woohoo! Don't take it from us, though. Take it from the hundreds of students who have learned from the bundle and have said that these were the best, most real, and informative webinars that they've ever watched. We've seen students double their prices after watching these and totally skyrocket their businesses.
This is our roadmap of how we got to where we are today, so skip the mistakes and speed bumps, doing it the slow way, and let us put you on the fast track to running a creative biz like a boss and pricing for profit and not just pay.
And the best part, this resource is less than $100. Seriously, y'all, it's only $97, and it's so worth that price and much more. So go to bizbirthdaybash.com/bundle to purchase it today. All right, friends, the next point is a super interesting one, all about photos, because you have to have amazing images to kind of catch their attention and images for submission as well.
Yeah, exactly. So having those amazing lifestyle images is great, but I can tell you that a lot of these magazines and anything you're submitting to are looking for those isolated product images with a white background. Sometimes they even will have like a requirement, like do not submit if you do not have a photo of your product on a white background, because they're making those like collages and doing all this editorial work with those images. So having your product already isolated is like as a PNG is going to be very, very helpful.
So when you say white background, do they want a JPEG with a white background or a PNG with a transparent background?
I don't think it necessarily matters, but make sure it just has a pure white background.
Okay.
Like you don't want it to be on like stripes where they couldn't like blend it into something.
So I have a question then for the Southern Living magazine with your pencils. Were your pencils edited into that photo, or did they have a physical sample they did a flat lay with?
Yeah, they had a physical sample. So they did their own.
I thought so because it looked really good.
They did their own photography with that. But so yeah, that's always an option too. They might want samples to do their own photography, but they might just want those clean white background images as well. So very important to have that. If you don't have those for your products, definitely something you want to prioritize if you're going to start submitting for publication.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking of it, I'm like, I have to find where I put that magazine because there's no way I threw it out. The one with your feature in it. It's probably in my office in a pile somewhere.
Probably, somewhere. I don't even know where I put mine because I rearranged things. Now I'm like,
the pile life is bad right now. Just piles and piles and piles.
Yeah, mine just the box life. There's just boxes of boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes that I don't even know.
So many boxes.
I hate boxes. Oh, but I love them because they're full of stuff. Mostly full of boxes, but...
How often do you guys have to like break everything down to recycle it, or do they just all end up in a room somewhere? Or they end up in your main area in the doorway.
Like, the main area in the doorway. But we also just keep like a pile that we take out. Like the trash guys kind of understand I'm going to have a ton of boxes, so they do take them. But then some weeks we're just like, this is just, we can't do this to them. We'll just put them on a trailer and take them to the dump. And yes, I said we put them on a trailer. Like that's how many boxes there are.
Well, you could always post free boxes too and like put them on the curb. Yeah. Because people love free boxes for moving.
I know. I have a problem though. When I open boxes, I destroy them. Alex is like, why does Godzilla look like I opened all these boxes? He's like, why can't you just use a box cutter? I've given you like 42 box cutters. I'm like, no, I just like to like tear it up. So they're not even like, I have a problem. Okay. I also like to burn my boxes, but I've almost lit things in the backyard on fire. So
Cami is a T-Rex and a pyro.
I
maniac.
am. I'm very intense.
There you go. 2 things that you need to know about Cami.
I love burning stuff so much. Okay, so besides all the boxes, having those white background photos of your products is going to be very, very, very good for you. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then number 4 is be prepared to move fast. So in publishing, time is of the essence. I just feel like it's like the wedding industry where there's like deadline, and it's just like literally panicky all the time. So you'll definitely increase your chances of actually getting published if you are super quick to respond. Like, don't be like, oh, I'll just wait on this one. Like, you gotta move, okay? Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. Like, move.
Right.
Because they're gonna be like, ooh, this person's quick to get back and easy to get to. Like, they'll be, like, great to work with in the future. Like, you're just gonna really, really come off great if you are prepared to move fast, which leads to sending samples. Number 5, the quicker, the better. Offer to send samples ASAP and get them there as fast as possible.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. And I was going to say too, I feel like Cami, that I'm saying we, but strategizing to get your like party pennant some sort of magazine feature would be really cool.
I know. Right now, Jacqueline is pitching to different things, so
do you have like a dream submission magazine?
I actually don't.
That you'd love to see your work in?
I actually don't have a dream submission magazine. I was just excited to have anything, honestly.
Right. If I saw you in Magnolia or Real Simple, I think I would lose it.
Real Simple is really cool.
Those are some of my favorites. And if you were in Magnolia, then you would have to get a warehouse that was like freaking huge because
yeah, that would be pretty cool. I mean, really anything. HGTV magazine would be cool.
Maybe the party pennants should be pitched to Magnolia. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, they're so cute. They're kind of nostalgic. I think they would like them.
I think anybody would like them. But I think of retail, or I think of, God, why did I just forget the name of it? Real Simple, because their stuff is always really bright and colorful.
Yeah,
every cover of Real Simple is always amazing. Yeah. I was obsessed with that magazine for years.
I know, I love that magazine. I got to go visit them in New York City, and it was awesome.
Oh, I think I have a bunch of copies of it somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where they ended up.
It's pretty cool. Shoot, what was I going to say? I just totally lost my train of thought.
Something about Real Simple and party pennants and...
I don't know. Oh, I was going to say, I think, well, I don't know if that's what I was going to say, but I will say this as well, is that the Southern Living feature, because if it was me, I would be wondering like, okay, will that get you any traction? Like, what good did that do for you? But I definitely saw orders coming from them, like just for the pencils. And I was like, around that same time it was published, and I was like, okay, I can tell this is coming from Southern Living magazine. I got a lot of messages being like, found you in Southern Living, like so excited to find your brand. Like, so I definitely saw like actual sales coming in from that, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can get like something featured and you're just like, nothing really happens really from it.
It is really cool.
But it's nice
and
to
it would
see
also
that
be
return.
Yeah, like I know that they probably try to do as simple of links as possible. But if you did something that was like camimonet.com/real simple, like say you get a feature with them and you're like, this is the link I want you to use. And it leads to a page on your website that features the featured product that was in the magazine with other products that relate.
Yeah, you would definitely have to ask them for that because they're very weird. They'd be like, sorry, we have to edit this and cut it shorter
to make it shorter
to fit or whatever. But that would be, amazing to see if you could track that. So,
or what if it was camimonet.com/rs, like something that simple?
Yeah, I mean, it could. Like, it could if it's, I guess you could ask them that for like tracking purposes. But yeah, they were also like, do you have enough of these in stock? If we publish this, are you going to have stuff in stock at this time? And I was like, yes, I will. So that was like one thing she checked before. So
you did not, and so you didn't go out of stock though. You had enough.
I had enough.
Okay,
I stocked up because I was like, I'm not running out because that's just like.
Was it? It was the Procrastinator Gator one.
No, it was the Make Everything Fun.
Yes. Okay.
That
makes more sense.
Literally, of all the things I have, it was just pencils that say "Make Everything Fun." They didn't even put the cute packaging in there. Like, it just cracks me up. Lord. Anyway, okay. Moving on. Sending samples. Do it ASAP. Be prepared to send samples. Make the package cute. Y'all know what to do.
Yep.
Okay. Are we supposed to have an ad break here?
Yes, we are. Okay. We're supposed to have an ad break. So we'll be back in just a minute. Hey guys, we just wanted to hop in and talk about one of our amazing resources, the A to Z directory. All of us have thought at some point, how did she do that or how did she make that? And maybe you don't know where to start or how the heck to produce this amazing product you've dreamt up.
Well, the A to Z directory is the missing puzzle piece in your biz, you guys. Seriously. So it's built in the form of a yearly membership, and it's your one-stop shop for finding suppliers and vendors for all the things. Literally where to print everything from custom invitations, greeting cards, mugs, koozies, acrylic printing, letterpress, custom ribbon. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And it literally goes from A to Z. From acrylic printers to zipper pouches, we have it in the A to Z directory.
We want to help all of you search less and create more with this list of 300 plus vendors and suppliers. Don't worry, they're very organized. It's not going to be overwhelming and confusing when you join. And this membership also includes access to a private Facebook community. It's incredibly active and involved. And if you need a question answered fast, that is definitely the place to go.
Yeah, our Facebook group really is the best. You guys, everyone is so helpful in there. And we're in there too, answering questions you guys might have. So it's a great way to get access to us and ask us things without sliding into our DMs. So we're more likely to answer you in the Facebook group, just saying. Anyway, also in the Facebook group, this is new for 2020 and we're really excited about it. We are hosting monthly Power Hour Q&A sessions that are live, and these are only available to our A to Z directory members. So you can hop in with us live and ask us all your burning questions in real time and just hang out with us every month. And we do these at different times so you can actually be there live, and the replays are always available in the Facebook group for members.
This resource is priced at $147 a year, which honestly is extremely affordable and is full of so many benefits, such as exclusive vendor coupons for members only. And we would love to have you guys join. Seriously, it's kind of like our family and our tribe. So visit bizbirthdaybash.com/directory to sign up today and use coupon code podcast2020 to receive $20 off your first year. That's podcast, all caps, 2020 for $20 off your first year.
We can't wait to see you in the Facebook group.
All right, everyone. Okay, so we only have 1 point left to wrap up this episode. This episode is especially short and sweet today. You know, we gave ourselves permission to just get a quick one out there because when our other ones go like well over an hour, that could be kind of like time consuming. So 1 more point left, guys, is that you just have to be aware of the timing for these things because magazines tend to work about 6 to 8 months in advance, which is why I'm asking Cami now, like, have you guys started strategizing yet? We're recording this at the end of June. I'm like, have you started strategizing yet for like getting your things in magazines?
Yes.
Because the turnaround time is, pretty long.
Yeah. So you don't want to start pitching Christmas in November. You will be laughed at. Well, you might not be laughed at, but you're not going to get included. So, for example, like I mentioned before, Stationary Trends right now is looking for Valentine's, Easter, and St. Patrick's stuff, and it is June. So keep that in mind. You are working.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And those things like just happened.
Yes. It's like whatever thing something just happened, it's like we're already on to the next. So you got to be with it, basically.
You need to do your lucky party pennant in Stationary Trends for St.
I need
Patty's
to tell
Day.
Jacqueline. I told her I'm so lucky to have you. I'm going to message her right now. I will after this. Okay. I forgot about that. I forgot about my party pennants. I forgot when I told her to submit. What an idiot.
You can text her right now. It's okay.
Okay. Hold on one second. Here. Fill the air, Elizabeth.
Fill the air. Oh, God. I don't know what to fill the air with because I don't have a ton of stuff to say about this topic. Besides that, I really like seeing Cammie's things in the magazines and I get super stoked about it. And I don't know. I just hope that our followers can hopefully use some of this information to send some short and sweet messages to some publications and just get yourself in there. I mean, like the more quantity you have of reaching out, the higher chance you have of somebody responding.
Yes. Hold on one second. I also forgot that I need to send out 5 faves coming.
Oh, yeah. That's today, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just letting her know. Okay. Anyway. Yes. So knowing the timing. And then a little bonus tip I have for you guys is that it never hurts to tag or use a hashtag of a magazine on social. You just never know. Did you just say that?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, I didn't listen to anything you just said. So you never know who's watching. So use hashtag Stationary Trends, tag them. Why not? Like, might as well get some eyeballs on your stuff. You just never know if they're going to poke around, see your things, and decide you'd be a good fit for an upcoming feature, which is the best way to be found is when it happens organically, because that's just very nice.
Yes, it is awesome.
Use all the tips and tricks you have. Of course, be consistent, do your research, have good photos, be friendly, be yourself, and don't write a super, super duper long email. And that's why this is short and sweet, because you should be short and sweet.
Yes. And I'll even say too, like when we get podcast pitch episodes can get super lengthy and nothing drives me nuts more. I'm like, can you just like say who you are really quick in a sentence and give me a link to something so I can see what's up? Like that's all I want. So yeah, I feel like that strategy is spot on and maybe just like a rule of thumb to live by in general, I think, because people don't have a time to read a ton of stuff.
Yeah. For any pitches, just keep it kind of short. So yeah, There you go, friends. Hopefully you get some good insight from that. Let us know what magazines you're submitting to if you're trying to. I always like to hear from you guys, considering we can't think of any magazines right now. But
and there is nothing wrong with putting it out there, too. I know a lot of people swear by it. Like, put it out in the universe. Like, announce on your Instagram stories. Talk about your goals. Like, I'm really looking to get into such and such magazine this year with this product. Because you never know. Like, someone in your following might have a connection or something random. You just don't know what could happen. So
that is a good
point.
Put it
out there and tag us. Let us know. Obviously, take a screenshot if you're listening to the episode and upload that to Instagram stories and tag us. Leave us a rating and a review on iTunes. We love reading those. It really keeps us going. And if you have questions for Q and Cake, you know where to find us. It's bizbirthdaybash.com/Q and Cake.
And that is it, you guys. Get out there and go pitch people. All right, bye.
Bye.